I'm bringing the party to you. How do you know my name?
Hola, ¿qué tal amigos? Yo soy Vivian Fabiola desde Nuevo México, aquí con mi amigo Silver de la nueva película de Disney, The Lone Ranger, y él justo nos llevará a las entrevistas para conocer un poquito más del elenco. No se lo pierdan.
Riding a white horse. Got some lunatic Indian with it. They're coming for you. Scared, aren't you? You should be.
These two have a hard time staying dead.
And The Lone Ranger, of course, stars one of the biggest stars, Johnny Depp, Armie Hammer, and of course, a great British actress, Ruth Wilson. You make your debut in an American film. Esta película hace su debut, Ruth Wilson, en una película americana. ¿Cómo se siente eso? How was that?
It was amazing. It was, my first big American film, and to do that with Gore and Johnny and Jerry was like a dream come true.
Tú fuiste una de las únicas mujeres haciendo el entrenamiento de vaqueras. ¿Cómo fue la experiencia?
Yeah, it was enormous amounts of fun. I quite like getting down and dirty, so for me, I love doing all the stunts and the lasso and learning to ride properly and driving a wagon, shooting guns. And if the boys can do it, I wanted to do it as well.
Tú hiciste unas escenas de acción donde estás boca abajo, o sea, realmente estás al lado del tren, tu cabello casi se atora con las llantas. ¿Cómo fue esa escena y cuántas veces la tuviste que hacer? How was that and how many times did you have to shoot that?
Yeah, that was quite scary. That was one of the scariest stunts because I have long hair as well. I thought it was going to get trapped in the wheels. But no, it was fine. And it's the first time, once you've done it one time, you can do it again and again and again, and it's quite fun. So we did probably about 6 times doing that stunt. But each and every one of them was really fun to do. And I really enjoyed throwing myself off trains and landing on horses backwards and shooting guns. It was great.
You want me to wear a mask?
The men you seek think you are dead, Kimosabe. Better to stay that way.
And now finally I get a chance to speak to the Lone Ranger, Armie Hammer. You kind of got out of your nerd role from The Social Network, and now we see you as a Lone Ranger. Tell us a little bit about your role.
It's a great role. I mean, we really liked the arc of the character. It's, he starts out as John Reed, attorney, and basically, with the help of Tonto, learns the way of the world in a way he never knew and becomes the Lone Ranger, masked vigilante for justice.
And now, an interesting fact that I didn't know, and I'm not sure if our viewers know or not, was that this little guy was made out of... Tell us what it's made out of. Platícanos de qué está hecho esta máscara.
Human skin.
No, ¿cómo que human skin?
Oh, sorry. No, leather. I don't know.
Okay, tell us the real story though.
So basically what happens is I'm riding with my brothers and the other Rangers, 7 of us. And 8 of us total, including myself. And we ride into the canyon and we get ambushed by the bad guys and my brother gets shot. And the mask is made from his vest, and the eyes are the bullet holes that killed him. So the idea is Tonto makes this vest, or makes the mask from his vest, and says, this is what your brother died in, and these are the bullet wounds that killed him. So from the great beyond, he will watch over you and protect you.
We would think that this isn't so hard to make, but it took 7 fittings. Nosotros
Took a long time.
Que esto no es nada difícil de hacer, pero duraste, 7 veces te tuvieron que medir la máscara para que quedara perfecta.
I'll show you why it's difficult though. Try putting it on for a second.
Okay, I'll try putting it on. Me la pondré.
Okay, but it gets all wrinkled and it gets all so it's
and
like
my lashes.
Yeah, it's so difficult to find a perfect mask.
¿Tuviste que ir a entrenamiento de vaquero? ¿Hubo algún entrenamiento para lidiar con esos escorpiones que se te subieron en el rostro?
No, there's nothing that can prepare you for scorpions on your face, especially when you're buried and you can't actually get your hands up and itch.
¿Those real? ¿Eran reales?
Yeah.
How did you even get into the mentality? I would not be able to do that.
You got to realize I'm trapped. There's nothing I can do about it, so I might as well just go for it. Oh God, I hate this so much.
Lo que me encanta de esta película es que hay una hermandad entre tú y Johnny Depp. ¿Cómo fue la relación durante esas grabaciones? O sea, ¿se la llevaban bien o no?
It was exactly like you see on screen. It was just fun. It was the kind of thing where, we just laughed and joked through everything, and by the end of it, we're like, oh, this was great, see you around,
Y aparte del final, ¿qué crees que las personas les va a gustar más de The Lone Ranger?
Hopefully everything. I mean, there's so much in it. If you're looking for adventure, if you're looking for romance, if you're looking for comedy, if you're looking for a thriller, it's got it all, so hopefully everything.
Y ahora aquí con el malo de la película, me imagino que te quitaste todo ese maquillaje. Tell me a little bit about what it was like to wear those teeth, the nose. What was the process like?
The process was long. I can guarantee you, the crew comes in first on a movie, and I was there with the makeup artist an hour before anybody showed up, and we got it down to about 2.5 hours to put everything on.
How did you feel when you looked in the mirror? ¿Cómo te sentiste cuando viste el espejo?
I loved it. I loved it. I really, I didn't want to look like me. I wanted to look like him, and Joel Harlow created such an amazing look. The first time he put everything on, he said, do you want to change it? You want to tweak it? And I'm like, no, this is perfect.
Para esta preparación de este papel, no solo el maquillaje era importante, sino también el entrenamiento de vaquero. Yo sé que tenías 38 años sin montar un caballo.
Yeah, first I had to ride, and I rode 2-3 times a week as much as I could to get comfortable, because I had to be able to gallop on a horse, because I knew when we went out of the train, when I jumped out of the train, the horse is going to be at 20 miles an hour to full gallop. But we started off slow. I mean, literally slow where we weren't moving, just from a platform. And then, went 3 miles an hour, 5 miles an hour, 8 miles an hour. And little by little, and, a couple of times a week until the day came, and we're gonna jump today. And away we went.
What about using the guns? ¿Y qué tal usando las armas? ¿Cómo te preparaste para eso? How did you prepare for that?
We had a guy named Keith, who was a New Mexican gentleman, and he was there almost every day, and he'd have the guns, and it's not like you could do it for hours because you'd wear your finger out. But 5-10 minutes every day, I would, if he was around, if I saw him, I would take the gun and just spin it, because you didn't know when the day was going to come, when it would be the right scene, and you'd flip that out. And believe me, when I finished this film, the only thing I cared about was did that make it in the movie? That flipping the gun thing.
3, 2, 1, go!
As kids, as you do, you play cowboys and Indians, and never once did I want to be the cowboy. Never once. I wanted to be the Indian.
Con 7 meses de filmación entre diferentes locaciones, entre los vestuarios, el maquillaje, fue un proceso increíble, así es que vamos a conocer un poquito más con el director. I was reading a lot about just the way, the dress, the outfits, from everything. There was so much detail into it, and one of the things that really caught my attention was the attention detail to the train, because the train was also pretty much a character itself. What was that like?
Well, they're very dangerous, they're dangerous beasts. I mean, they're big, heavy, we're transferring from horses to trains with actors underneath trains, on top of trains, riding horses in trains while we're moving at speed, crew and camera around the trains. And it was also important that the landscape became, as a character in this movie. And they're kind of opposing forces, the landscape and this train are sort of, kind of opposing characters in this film. And so we took our trains everywhere. We went to 5 states and shot, beautiful vistas in Monument Valley, places that haven't been photographed in a long time since the great era of westerns.
Se dice que esta va a ser la mejor película del verano, así es que ustedes no se la pierdan. The Lone Ranger estrena el 3 de julio. Yo soy Vivian Fabiola con mi amigo Silver. Me despido. Hasta la próxima.